Welcome to Bruce Hurwitz Presents Meet the Experts. I'm your host, Bruce Hurwitz of Hurwitz Strategic Staffing. You can find us on the web at hsstaffing.com. I hope you'll consider us for all your staffing, career counseling, and professional writing needs. Momentarily, I will be joined by Dr. Lynn Anderson, and we will be discussing holistic health and karma. Meet the Experts is sponsored by P&K CPAs. P&K is a full-service accounting firm. They provide accounting and consulting services to businesses ranging from startups to small and mid-cap companies to nonprofits, as well as high-net-worth individuals. Contact them today for a free consultation at info@pk-cpas.com or call them at 973-882-8810. They will be happy to be of service. Lynn, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Bruce. It's fun to be here.
It is my pleasure. Please take a moment or two and introduce yourself to our viewers.
All right. Well, I'm Dr. Lynn, and I'm a naturopathic doctor. I'm a certified yoga therapist. I'm a karma master, an author. I've produced some DVDs and TV shows and been around the holistic health field for about 40 years.
Are you a medical doctor?
No, I'm not. I'm a naturopath.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where'd you get your degree?
My degree came from, it's the College of Natural Science.
Right. Where's that?
That was located in Alabama, and then it was sold out to another national organization. So it was like a small university that was bought out by a bigger university after I graduated. So it kind of, that's how it goes.
Just curious, not
Yeah.
no ulterior motive.
Yeah.
But I just want to make it clear to our viewers that if they have a health problem, they should consult with a qualified professional.
Right.
Healthcare professional.
Yeah, the difference is between a naturopath and a medical doctor. Obviously, we don't do surgery, we don't prescribe, but we teach. We teach the natural sciences. That's what a naturopath does.
For some people it works, some people it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not an indictment of the profession. So tell me, what is holistic health?
Well, holistic health means that we look at the body, the mind, and the soul. We don't separate the three of them. That's really the naturopathic philosophy, is that we are three parts. We're a body, a mind, and a soul, and they all need to be healthy and integrated in order to create holistic health. That's really what it means. It also means to be able to use the natural sciences to apply that, which the foundation would be exercise and nutrition and sleep. Those are the three foundation pillars. And then we go off into aromatherapy and herbs and color and light and sound therapy.
Tell me about soul. I think we all understand body and mind. But talk to me about soul.
Your soul is your essence. And if you think about your essence, there's an inner part to all of us, that inner essence. And that's really what the soul is. And according to karma, that is exactly why you are here. Your soul, you're here, you chose this body, this life, to live out whatever the soul's mission is, whatever its correction is that it's coming back to correct.
So that would tend to imply, if I understand this correctly, from Eastern, by which I mean the subcontinent, India, that we are all reincarnated.
Well, actually, reincarnation goes way back to the early Jewish religion and the early Christian religion. It was actually Constantinople who changed that, because they believed at that point that if we come here and we all know we're going to reincarnate, then, well, I won't worry about correcting things in this life. I'll just have a really good time. And so they began to change that and take away that reincarnation. And that really then became, yes, mostly it's an Eastern philosophy.
But if the soul is the essence and you've been brought back to correct something, that means you were alive before and you're back by definition.
Correct. According to karma, when we leave this world, what we take with us is our deeds and our misdeeds. And then we go to a place which is called the holdover place, and it's a place of reflection. And then we decide what we need to come back and correct. And to come back and correct, you have to take on human form. So we have to then take on feelings and emotions and experiences. And that's, according to karma, that's the process of reincarnation.
Now, in the English-speaking world, I don't know if it exists in other cultures, but you know what we all say about karma.
Uh-huh.
All right. So karma, if karma is a bitch, it's a negative. It means you're going to pay for the nasty deeds you have done.
Well, that's a misnomer.
That's why I'm asking the question.
We have the pop culture definition of karma, good karma and bad karma, but that predisposes judgment. And karma is not about judgment. Karma is about correction. And karma means that there's energy. And so when you come here, it's about correcting your energy. And I always give the example of, let's say I go out and I steal something, right? I'm a thief. That's what I am. And, I'm carrying that around. Now, I may never get caught. So if I never get caught, how does the good, bad karma, karma comes back? However, for the rest of my life, I may be looking over my shoulder. Who's going to find out? I may be covering up. I'm carrying that heavy energy with me. And karma would say, that's the karma I have to work through. That's the karma, the heavy energy that I'm carrying. So it's not that it's good or bad. It's just you have to think about what energy you take on yourself.
Coincidentally, and I didn't know this ahead of time, everybody who watches regularly knows that guests don't get questions in advance, and I don't know what I'm going to ask until the conversation begins. But you mentioned that one of the most important pillars or foundations of your approach is sleep. And I had mentioned to you that I've been fighting a cold for the last couple weeks. And this morning I got up early, did the work that I had to do, went back to bed for 2 hours, slept for 2 hours, woke up, and for the first time in weeks, I feel great. Now, no one is going to convince me that sleep is not key to good health. I've had people on who have talked about the importance of laughter. And that when you laugh, you are causing a physical change in your body. You're getting more oxygen, and that helps with your mind. So I understand the connectivity between body and mind. The old saying, if you don't mind, it doesn't matter. So I've had people on who were not convincing me that their practices were totally legit. I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible.
Okay.
And I would always ask them, and to be fair, I'm going to ask you, but I don't put you in the same category as them, about the placebo effect. Because your mind can control your body. You can convince your mind that something that your brain is telling you isn't happening is in fact happening. I know because I've done it myself. What is the proof, as in a double-blind placebo test, that your approach, the holistic approach to solving a medical problem, works?
Well, basically, it all comes down to, if you want to support the health of your body, if you want to repair your body, you need the 3 pillars. You need a good diet, because your body only heals and rejuvenates itself based upon what the fuel you put in it. And that's pure science. That's not hocus pocus. That's science. You know, we also know that movement and exercise, the body is designed to move. If it doesn't move, it stops working properly. So, and that has to do with just getting up and moving, circulation through your body, oxygen, the things that your vital organs need. That's science. And then when we go to the third pillar, if we go to sleep, what we know about sleep is you have in your brain, it's called the pineal gland. It's connected to the third eye. And the pineal gland is what helps us to go to sleep. It's the only thing in your body other than your eyes that can detect direct light. And that's why it's important to have it be dark when you go to sleep. Because the pineal gland, what it does is it goes in and it takes serotonin, and then it produces melatonin, and melatonin becomes an antioxidant that goes through and, as I say, cleans up all the garbage that you've created throughout the day in your body and your mind. And that's what allows us to rejuvenate and rebuild. Science. So although all of these three pillars are based upon science, and so my answer to that would be that, you know, it isn't hocus pocus. It isn't anything I'm making up. It's, you know, it's all right there. And what should you do to enhance the health of your body? Diet, exercise, and sleep.
And that's exactly what every doctor has told me.
Mhm.
You know, you got to eat better, you have to exercise more, get some sleep. I kid around with my doctor and I say, you know, the new regimen that you put me on is working greatly. I don't exercise anymore. I have a diet that's only fried and salty food. And I, instead of taking medication, I have a glass of whiskey every night before I go to bed.
Mhm.
And he looks at me and he goes, good, that's fine. And the nurses are in shock.
Yeah.
They just don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm fed up with him asking me every time, are you doing? Yeah, I'm doing it. Fine. So I'm not doing it.
Right.
So I don't see why there would be any contradiction at all between neuropathy, if that's the right word, or holistic healthcare and traditional Western healthcare.
The difference is that as a naturopath, we look at prevention over cure. That's our direction. My goal is to make sure that we prevent rather than have to cure. Who wouldn't want that? So by prevention is living a lifestyle. We create a lifestyle. It's about living a healthy lifestyle. When you go to traditional medicine, and it's not to bash traditional medicine because, you know, you don't want to come to me for surgery. You want to go to a surgeon. But when you go there, the doctor, it's all about curing. You're sick. And so what is the first thing the doctor does? They give you a prescription, and the prescription is chemicals. And anytime you put chemicals into your body, you're poisoning your body. The body does not rejuvenate. It does not rebuild itself. It does not get its energy from chemicals. It gets it from nutrition. It gets it from movement. It gets it from sleep. So we know that those three things, no matter what you do, those three things need to be taken care of. And so what I put out, and I put out to the medical community, is if I am sick and I go to you and I need antibiotics, let's say, and I know what havoc that's going to do on my gut and my body, once I'm done with that regimen, why aren't I given a prescription to go see someone who is the holistic doctor and get my diet back on, rebuild my body back up? Because the antibiotics, they may have cured something, but they've also drained the body. So that's where we have the, you know, discrepancy. But the great thing is when the two come together, because when they work together, you get the best of both worlds.
What type of issues do people come to you with?
You know, the issue is usually I want to lose weight and I want more energy. And Dr. Lynn, do you have a magic bullet? Can you tap me on the head and make it all happen? And of course, I can't do that because sometimes when people come to me, I'm trying to unwind years of lifestyle patterns that need to be unwound in order to get in the right direction. So I would say the majority of people come to me, it's either some kind of a dietary issue it starts with, or an energy issue, but there are so many other facets to it.
I had a colleague who was also a friend, and we all liked her very much, except at lunchtime when we wanted to kill her because she would, for lunch every day, have a pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And what infuriated all of us was that she was thin as a post.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else, we would have become morbidly obese.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't gain an ounce. She didn't gain a gram.
Mm-hmm.
And she would always say it's my metabolism.
It's called eating disorder. I've seen a million of them.
Right?
I've had many clients, I've dealt with many clients and many students that's one of the sort of triggers to an eating disorder is they will eat. She may have eaten that, but she may have eaten nothing else throughout the daytime. And think about what she's put into her body. There's a lot of sugar. There's a lot of nutrients that she hasn't gotten into her body by eating that. So anyone who sort of tells you that, what's going on behind the curtain, that would be my first question.
Now, I was laughing just so that people don't misunderstand. She would say, listen, this is healthy. It's got fruit in it.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
okay.
right.
So it was fun.
Yeah.
Now, her children were healthy. Her husband was healthy. She was healthy. So I don't know that she was not having 2 square meals a day in one round, as in the Haagen-Dazs container.
Mm-hmm.
But I always use her as my example because what's good for one person can be terrible for somebody else.
That is correct. And that's one thing that modern medicine does. They do the one size fits all. I mean, if they prescribe a drug, they're going to give you the same as me, and we're 2 different people. We're man, woman, we're different weights, we're different ages, so when you look at we look at one size fits all, the world isn't that way. We're all individuals.
That's true, but the dosage will be different. Every time a doctor's put me on medication, it's always been very low dosage and come back in a month or 2 months or whatever, and we'll see how it's working. And sometimes they increase it, sometimes they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the reasons that I like my physicians is that they will say, you're taking enough pills. You don't need any more pills. You got to exercise more and diet.
You got a good
Right?
doctor.
You've got to take the meds, but you've got to look at other things.
Mm-hmm.
And that would seem to me to be the perfect balance.
Well, yes.
Coming from the side of traditional Western medicine. Now,
Mm-hmm.
under what circumstances would you recommend to someone coming to you, your patient, to go see a doctor, a physician?
Well, like I said, I mean,
not for a broken arm or a broken leg.
Right.
I mean,
but if someone comes to me and they're having some heart issues, they're having severe pain in their stomach, let's say gut digestive issues, maybe pain in their legs, or circulation problems, I always, with my clients, I always say the best thing to do is go get a blood panel, because I need to look at a blood panel, and we'll look at that and see what's going on and work in conjunction with your doctor. Because if you've got, for example, a urinary tract infection, the quickest way and the best way is antibiotics. They're going to prescribe, and you know what? We're all going to take those, and they're wonderful for what they're for. It's what happens afterwards that is the question. Is so when doctors work together, when alternative and traditional medicine work together, I think that's when we get the best of healthcare for all people.
What does, just to not change the subject, but to go on a different road, a different path, what does yoga have to do with any of this?
Well, yoga is a philosophy, it's a science. And in studying the philosophy and science, yoga, that is what yoga teaches, is that it's about the body, the mind, and the soul. It follows very much the path of a naturopath, that we are to bring all three of those to balance if we are to create perfect health. So yoga is about, first and foremost, taking care of yourself and living a healthy life. And then it's second about being of service to others and to the world. That's really the basis of yoga.
In a way, it sounds like karate. I never
Well,
thought of that before, but the way you just put it, it sounds sort of like karate, that it has nothing to do with violence. It has to do with self-defense and
discipline.
so
It has to do
discipline.
It
Yes.
has to do with discipline, and yoga is a form of discipline. The upside of yoga is when you come and you do yoga, you get stretching, you get balance, you get flexibility, you get to let go of stress, so there's some real positive health issues to yoga, physically, mentally, just to clear it all out. And hopefully people can get in touch with the essence, your soul, get in touch with the essence of who you are.
I was smiling because that's exactly what a friend's wife said to him. And she finally convinced him to go with her to her yoga class, whatever it's called. And he bent over to pick up the yoga mat, or to unroll, unroll the yoga mat, and he threw his back out. And that was the end of his wife talking to him about going to yoga.
Right.
He,
However, had he have been doing yoga, he would have had a stronger back, and he may not have, thrown his back out when he
but
bent
then again,
over.
I've seen people bend over and pick up a paperclip,
Mhm. Yeah.
literally pick up a paperclip,
Yeah.
and excruciating pain, couldn't get up.
Yep.
Never had a back problem in their life.
Yep. Yeah.
One woman said that it was worse than childbirth, and she had given birth like 3 months earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you wrote about workouts. You call it proactive aging workouts.
Yes.
There's this term that I do not like called anti-aging.
hmm
And I always say, well, what do you have against aging?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we go down that road, but you don't do that. You talk about proactive aging workouts. What are
Mhm.
those?
Well, the first thing is you start aging the moment you're born.
Of course.
And so anti-aging, you got to age, that's a
Yeah.
good thing. So proactive aging is about taking a proactive approach to where you're going with your body and your mind and your soul through each sort of decade or period in your life. And as you get older, what's really important is functionality. And that's really what proactive aging is about. It's about keeping the body moving so that we can function, so we can bend over, so we can get down on the floor, get up off from the floor, be able to take the trips that we want to do, play with our grandchildren, be active well into the later years in our life. So it's really proactively being positive about the aging rather than, and I have heard people say, oh, I'm getting old, I can't do that. That's a negative approach. Be positive. Get out there and move.
And the reaction, of course, is I'm positive I can't do that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but it's the you remind me of the adage that sitting is the new smoking.
Yeah, yeah, really. So true. And it's like I tell people we didn't evolve sitting. We evolved moving.
Mhm.
Humans are designed to move. And the minute you stop moving, you're dead. So keep moving, just keep up and moving and doing those things that are positive.
It's funny, I've always said the minute you stop learning, you're dead.
Yeah, Well, moving, if you're not moving, you're dead.
We are, I just noticed we're getting close to a half hour. So I
Wow.
want to share your contact information with our viewers. And I have one final question for you.
Sure.
Is there anything that I did not ask, which you wish I had asked? And if I had asked, what would you have said?
Well, if you'd ask me what is the most important thing in life, I would say it's your health. And I would remind everyone that when you lose your health, nothing else matters. You can't, money, everything. Look at Steve Jobs. He had all the money in the world. He lost his health. So the most important thing you can do is get up every day and pay attention to taking care of the most important person. That's yourself.
Dr. Lynn, I thank you profusely. This has been very interesting, very informative. I appreciate it, and I'm sure our viewers do as well.
Thank you very much, Bruce.
My pleasure. I'm Bruce Hurwitz. Thank you for watching. And as always, please stay focused on success.